What David will also, when you get to slides, 53.8% of the houses in this country have over 50% equity in them. 37% are owned free and clear. The houses that do have a mortgage on them, $177,000 is the average equity. So what happened in 2008, everyone was using a house as an ATM. They were buying jet skis, a new car, lavish vacation. Well, people now said, no, we're not going to do that. They've learned over the last 10 years. What happened in 2008, as soon as prices faltered at all, people went to negative equity, they walked. Nobody's going to walk away. First of all, there's no foreclosure on a free and clear house. That's 1/3 of them. And nobody's walking away from $177,000 worth of equity. That's cash to them. So I want you to get that. Go to the slide where she has her finger over her mouth. Okay. Now I'm going to tell everyone, you can't share these slides. As a matter of fact, the next slide we're not even going to give you because we're afraid you're going to share it. This is for information purposes only. All right. We're going to show you a breakdown. Go ahead, David. This is the breakdown of the first 701,000 people that lost their jobs. So what you see is 59.5% were food services and drinking places, servers and bartenders. They're going to get their jobs back. Now there's going to be social distancing, but remember, every business, people are saying, well, business is not going to come back. The only business that's not going to come back is a business that didn't serve a demand of the marketplace. If they didn't serve a need of the marketplace, they were going out of business anyway. So it might be that, well, in one restaurant, you can't fit as many people. Same amount of people are going to want to go to dinner. That means they're going to go to dinner across the street in a new restaurant. All right. The construction workers, we already know they're coming back. The healthcare office workers, those are the people who work in dentist offices and doctor's offices, in the emergency medical centers that have been closed down. People can't go see a dentist right now. All of those people are coming back as quickly as they can. Childcare workers, anyone who has a kid at home right now, they'll pay childcare workers extra money to come back to work once they're allowed to. Now, the temporary help services, that's going to be a challenge. We thought retail stores, that's why we named it orange, was going to be a challenge. It kind of looks like in China, that might not be the case at all. People came back shopping. In the accommodation industry, airlines, hotels, we have to see on that. But the reason I don't want you to share this slide is up in the upper right-hand corner, it says up until 3/14. This was the survey taken on 3/14, which again covered the first 701,000. Since then, about 22 million people got laid off. About 8 days from today, or 9 days from today, on May 8th, the new BLS report comes out. It only comes out once a month. We'll update this slide. You need the updated slide. That one we'll want you to run with. Because you can understand now that, wait a second, all these people that lost their jobs, a lot of them are coming back to work immediately. It's not like it was in 2008 that people lost their job for an extended period of time. And ladies and gentlemen, go to the 80-20 slide, David. If 20% of the people, and that's what we anticipate is going to be the unemployment rate when it's announced on May 8th, somewhere around 20%. Understand, if 20% of the people lost their jobs, that means 80% still have their jobs. Let's get that through our heads. 80% of the people still have their jobs. They can still buy a house. They can still do things that they want to do. So if we're going to have a fall off, and we have to remember 20% of those people, many of those jobs were low salary jobs. They weren't going to buy a house anyway. The 60-year-old that was working at McDonald's got laid off, that's in that 20% number, he wasn't going to buy a house. He's living with mom and dad. So now let's take a look now at unemployment rates. The orange line that you see here is the Goldman Sachs, is the JP Morgan projections. They're the most dire projections. They think it's going to go down to 20%. JP Morgan thinks it's going to go down 15%, but then you see the recovery they're talking about. They're talking about full recovery the end of next year. Look what happened in 2006 and 2016. There were 9 years for us to get back to the same employment number. And the Great Depression, and people are saying, well, the Great Depression, this is like that. It's going to, no, it's not. It's nothing like that. It took them 12 years, and they bottomed out on the 20%, over 20% unemployment for 5 years in a row. That's not happening here. The market's going to come back. It's going to come back more quickly. Now, do we know if it's going to come back the end of this year or the first or second quarter of next year? That's the argument. The argument is not, is it going to come back this year or 2022? The argument is going to be, is it going to be back by the end of this year, or is it going to be back by the beginnings of next year? All right, that's the argument. And we have to be prepared, ladies and gentlemen. So let's jump to the next question. What do you need to do right now? Probably the thing that's most important that we do right now, and jump right to the slide, the first showing time slide, David. This is North America. This is the number of showing people that are actually looking to purchase, to see a house, either a visual showing or a live showing. And there are many parts of the country that are still doing live showings, by the way. If you're not in that category, there are. That's already bottomed. Our business, our industry has already bottomed. We're coming back out the other side already. And that curve has got to lead. Did I mention we're the Cavalry? Did I bring that up yet? We have to lead the rest of the economy out. And the purchases are already making that determination. And if we go to, you can go to the Show and Time website, go to the next slide, David. Here's just Colorado. And almost every state I look at says the same thing. We already bottomed out. Our challenge right now is not that the buyers are not slowly coming back. Our challenge is we're not getting the listings to sell to them. The same challenge we had at the beginning of the year. As a matter of fact, Zillow just reported, I don't care if you like Zillow or don't like Zillow, some agents think they're, God, some agents think they're the devil incarnate. I'm not worried about that. I like their data. Pending sales turned positive in the week ending April 15 and is up to 6.2% week over week as of the 7 days ending April 19. We're doing a company on Thursday. They just gave us all their data. They think things are better. Their pending sales have turned the curve already, heading positive again. Ladies and gentlemen, we're in good shape now. This is all we need to do. We have to take the panic out of the market, that consumer confidence that Todd just talked about. We're the ones that have to change that. And the first thing we have to do is we have to make sure that when a headline comes out that we already knew was going to come out, that when the unemployment numbers come out next week, everyone's going to go, oh my God, it's a 20%. We know it's going to be that. I'm telling you today, it's going to be that. Let's tell our consumer it's going to be that. Tell them the truth, trust their intelligence. But then give me the calm down slide. This is what I want you to, I'm going to give you 7 words right now. There's nobody from New York on here, right? Todd, is there anybody from New York on here?
I'm sure there's plenty of people from New York here.
They're working in New York right now. All right. If there are people from New York, I'm going to give everyone else 7 words. The people in New York understand that in New York, we say, calm the F down. We put the F and B in the middle there, right? But I'm going to give you the cleaner version. Calm down, sit down, think, plan, act. It's that simple, ladies and gentlemen. And put that over your desk in your house right now. Every time you get a negative headline, every time you get some negative thing thrown at you, before you panic, calm down, sit down, think about it, plan and act. I got 2 emails in the last 3 days. One of them was saying, the Fed president just said this is going to be a long recession. I said, really? Powell said that? So he gave me a link. I immediately went to it was from 2009, quoting Ben Bernanke. The agent got all crazed about a headline that was 11 years old, not thinking it was for today. Another person who saw a headline that was very positive say, do you agree with everything this guy's saying? And when I checked the link, I said, yes, I do, because I wrote that article. Guys, don't read the headlines and get crazed. Would you please read what it's saying? Calm down, sit down, think,